Well, of course it figures I missed the 4-run rally. Hello everybody, Bobby Gaines here again. Join me as we watch some postseason baseball with the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers for Game 3 of the National League Division Series. Now, I'll admit I'm a little bit downtrodden by the fact that the great Chase Utley's not playing in this game, at least for the time being, because I really wanted to see how the fans at Citi Field would feel about him. Now, of course, some of you might remember I had my little rant last time, and there was some anger and hatred thrown around. Good times, good times. But right now we're on to Game 3, and as I mentioned, there was a 4-run rally in the last inning as we head to the top of the third here. The Dodgers scored 3 runs in the second inning off Matt Harvey, who didn't exactly have his sharpest inning. But the Mets came right back with 4 more, aided by a 3-run double from Curtis Granderson. So, of course, I missed all of that, and now every other inning I film will be full of, boredom and toil. But seriously. No, I love the postseason. I miss doing this back when the Red Sox were going on their championship run. So at the very least, I'm going to record some games here, follow the Mets as they hopefully beat the Dodgers. Up 4-3 in the third inning, and Matt Harvey strikes him out. Nice. Striking out former Philadelphia Philly Jimmy Rollins. Now, I mentioned Chase Utley before, and of course, I can imagine the fans in attendance at Citi Field would love nothing more than to see Chase Utley come to the plate right now. And funny thing, of course, me being the objective guy that I am, I tried to see past Chase Utley's really dirty, disgusting disgrace to baseball and, just see it as a baseball play. But for some reason, in quotes, some reason, MLB thought that they should suspend him for 2 games for his, completely natural baseball play. Of course, Chase Utley, being the fighter that he is, didn't take the suspension, so he is eligible to play in this game. I'm still kind of holding out some hope that he'll play, because I really want to see him get hit with a pitch. But, that won't happen, because we don't retaliate in baseball. But anyway, I digress. Mets-Dodgers, it looked to be a good series on paper at the beginning. It's been a very good series so far, despite the disappointing Game 2 loss from the Mets. Adrian Gonzalez, he's 0 for 1 in this game, seems to have a trend for starting the games terribly and then coming up with a hit later in the game. We've seen it in Game 1 and 2. He starts 0 for 3, and then he gets a hit or 2. So hopefully they do take care of business here and retire Gonzalez as we move on here. Matt Harvey, of course, the subject of much controversy toward the end of the regular season with the innings limit and the pitch counts and everything. You wonder how far he can go in this game. Obviously, Mets fans cheering for Matt Harvey want to see him go as far as possible. And what a luxury it is for the Mets, honestly. I'm speaking as a Red Sox fan. The Red Sox have no pitching whatsoever. Matt Harvey would be a number 1 pitcher on the Red Sox. He'd be a number 1 pitcher on most teams. They have the luxury of having last year's Rookie of the Year Jacob deGrom on the staff, as well as Noah Syndergaard and Steven Matz and some other pitchers. So Matt Harvey, while, he's still one of the aces of the staff, it was not necessary for him to start Game 1 and Game 5 for them to win this series. So, obviously Mets fans would like to see Matt Harvey make more starts in the postseason, but, these are the important games. And you got to believe, Matt Harvey making his first career postseason start, he's going to come out with something great. Of course, I say that after he's already given up 3 runs, and his pitch count's already up to 43 as he walks Gonzalez, so that's not going to help the pitch count. So, like I said, you got to watch Harvey. You don't have to, but, management has to watch Harvey, make sure he's not throwing too many pitches or whatever. And I digress, as we will show this Curtis Granderson, whatever you call it here, the double by Curtis Granderson, which it's not quite the same watching it after the fact. Would have been nice to see it live and kind of react to it as it happened, but we'll see what happens. It's still a long game here. The third inning, runner on first with 1 out. Dodgers and Mets here going at it, and I am going to stick with this as long as I need to as far as the Mets go. Actually, funny story here, not that anyone was wondering, but last time I had this little Mets hat. I still have it. It doesn't fit me. Funny story how I got it, but we'll get to that another time. I actually went out of my way recently and ordered a real Mets hat from eBay. Hopefully it'll be here in the next few days, assuming that the Mets are still in the postseason. That will, of course, depend on the outcome of these next couple of games. So I do have a Mets hat on the way. Obviously, I'm going to wear it even beyond this postseason. So supporting the team, not just kind of jumping on the bandwagon at the last minute. I have been following the Mets all year. I have, unfortunately, been following the Red Sox, as I've mentioned, and that's how I know the Red Sox are so starved for pitching. Heck, I would take Syndergaard. It's so stupid. But I digress. Matt Harvey is the pitcher right now. 2-0 the count to this guy with the beard that I forgot the name of. I don't really know everyone on the Dodgers. I used to know more of their players. Yasiel Puig used to play a bigger part, and now I haven't seen him much in this series. Obviously, I know Adrian Gonzalez from his days with the Red Sox, as well as his days with the Dodgers. Jimmy Rollins, I know from the Phillies, as well as, what's his name? Chase Utley. Oh, yeah, here he's kind of a scumbag. But, yeah, I know a lot of Dodgers, obviously, to an extent. I know their pitching staff, but I don't know everybody as far as the lineup goes. Turner, okay, I have heard of Turner. Like I said, they have Turner, Jock Peterson, and Corey Seager coming up, so those could be the next great Dodgers players. We'll have to see. It's an interesting thing with the Mets. Even if they don't win this series, I think the Mets are poised for a long run. I guess I shouldn't jinx them because the Nationals thought they'd have a long run of postseason success, and they've only been to a couple playoffs. But I do think what the Mets have is sustainable, provided they keep their veterans, as that's a base hit. Provided they keep their veterans, such as, Granderson they'll have, and Cespedes is the big one. Yoenis Cespedes has been a great addition to the Mets, pretty much helping all of their offensive woes that they had earlier in the season. Now, as I'm talking, this inning's really not going so well for Matt Harvey. He got the first out on the strikeout, but that ball gets by David Wright. Looking at first and second now with one out. Double play gets him out of the inning, but, not very sharp for Matt Harvey overall. Giving up 3 runs already. We're in the third inning. He's over 50 pitches. You got to wonder, I'm actually a little surprised that the Mets don't have anyone warming up. They might, but not what you wanted to see. I really was hoping for more, especially since it's Harvey's first postseason start, and, he gets up for these big games, but this is Matt Harvey. I mean, I'm not going to say I watch all of his games, but from what I've seen, just casually following the Mets, it looks like Nice is up in the pen, but just from following the Mets on and off, I'll see some of Matt Harvey's games where he'll go 8 or 9 innings and strike out 10 and go, he's a really good pitcher. And then other games he'll go 5 innings and give up 4 or 5 runs, and he'll just run into a wall. Now, it's unfortunate that he's running into a wall this early in the game. Is that Bartolo Colon? Of course he is. Who else is that fat? Bartolo Colon, I hope he doesn't come into the game. Not even anything against him from the last game, but it's pretty early in the game to be bringing in Bartolo Colon if that is indeed the plan. But again, something's got to be done here because, like I said, Harvey's throwing a lot of pitches early on as he gets the strike. And I just feel like with Matt Harvey, he has the potential to be really great or really not so great. And it's early in the game. You hope he can turn it around and still go 6 innings, although that's not looking too likely just because of pitch count. But just at this point, I'd settle for him getting out of this inning because, I already missed 1 4-run rally. I don't want to see this become a 4-run rally, It's bad enough that my teams usually don't get hits when I film them. I don't need to see the opposing team start getting base hits. I don't even know. But, every game counts in October, and that's what makes it so exciting. I remember from those Red Sox games, of course, the Red Sox offense was terrible, but there'd be games where, 1 or 2 runs was probably all you were going to get from the Red Sox. If they gave up more than 2 runs, the game was probably over. So I kind of just kept hoping, every inning was are they going to get a hit in this inning? We'll find out. I gotta say, through some of the postseason games, I haven't had that same feeling. I feel like even when teams are down by a few runs, anything could happen, which I guess is what's supposed to happen in baseball. I'm just kind of used to the lackadaisical disappointment. But, all right, Mets. Let's go, Mets! Please? That'd be nice. It'd be nice to see the Mets win. It's already nice that they've gotten further than the Yankees. That's a foul ball, thankfully. The Yankees, say what you will about them, and it kind of annoys me because I figure even though the Yankees didn't go far in the playoffs, they probably still had more fan support through their little run there where they won, 87, 88 games. So, good for the Yankees. Woohoo. They made the playoffs. They got knocked out in 1 game, which exposed pretty much all of their flaws, as in Tanaka's their number 1 starter. And nothing against Tanaka, but he's not a number 1. Maybe if he's completely healthy, but even if he is, the Yankees don't have much of a rotation, and the Mets do, but I don't know. It's crazy that the Yankees will always be more popular than the Mets. I mean, not crazy, I guess. I'm kind of used to it. But, the Mets really deserve some attention, because what they've done here is really very special. And whether or not they go the distance here, I hope that the Mets keep these players together, at least most of them, as Terry Collins watches his team from the dugout. I really like the way the Mets have turned it around. Hopefully it's not just a one-hit wonder for them. And he strikes him out. All right. So, like I said with Harvey, he either strikes the guy out or he gives up a hit. There's really no in-between. That's Matt Harvey for you. But he does have the talent, obviously. That's what makes it so frustrating that Matt Harvey's on this innings limit and might not be able to go when they need him to. I mean, what if they go to a Game 5 and they need him out of the bullpen? Does he pitch too many innings? I hope not. This inning, so far, luckily, there's been no scoring. It just feels like a very long inning because of the walk and the hit and the 2 outs. And Carl Crawford, another former Red Sox player, woohoo, he's up to bat. Not very proud of the Red Sox getting Carl Crawford. I wasn't even at the time, but it was hard to really argue against it just because Carl Crawford had such great numbers with Tampa Bay. But really, since his Tampa Bay days, aside from a few good months with the Dodgers, he really hasn't shown much. It's almost like, I don't know what happened to him, but when he got sent to the Red Sox, when the Red Sox signed him, he really just fell off the cliff between injuries and just not producing. I don't know. But this isn't about Carl Crawford. It's about the New York Mets. It's about Matt Harvey. Hopefully getting out of this inning here as the Mets fans are getting up for it. I really want to see Chase Utley get up to bat. If Chase Utley gets him to bat, I will drop what I'm doing, and I will come in here to film whatever it's going to happen. I don't even know. I can only imagine. I hope these fans brought some garbage to throw at him just in case. You got to bring some garbage to the game. It's the responsible thing to do. Really would have liked to see a swing and miss there. I also would like to see the Red Sox win more than 78 games because you can't always get what you want. Something tells me this game is about to switch to TBS because the Cubs game just ended. And if it does, I'll have to make a quick switch over to one whole channel. But hopefully I can at least finish this inning with Matt Harvey on the mound here before I have to switch channels. And he fouls that one off. And knowing my luck, it'll be like the last pitch of the at-bat, and then it'll switch over, and I will have no idea what happens. And that's just a dishonor to all you guys out there in YouTube land watching this game, even though you will have very much already seen the game by the time I put this video out, just because of how long it takes me to upload. That's a funny thing. Like, literally, these videos take half an hour to an hour to upload each. So by the time I get this one up, the game will be probably in the 6th inning. And, so on and so forth. But anyway. Come on, swing on one of those. Like, that's what happened during the Red Sox postseason. It was like, every game was over and I was still uploading videos from the 7th inning. That's YouTube for you. That's my computer for you, really. Although I have a new computer this year, so maybe it'll be faster than my old one was. We'll see. Yeah, you talk about some weird things. I guess baseball is a bit long, but I like it because I have time to ramble. Who doesn't want to hear me ramble? A lot of people, but anyway. God, Matt Harvey's up to 60 pitches already. All right, strike 3. Crawford's out and the Mets are out of the inning, so let's go Mets. You got 4 strikeouts already. Let's see how they do going forward in the National League Division Series.